Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, we're running through the trends in cryptocurrency for 2022. So in this video, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what I think will be trending narratives, things to keep an eye on, and sectors where there will probably be huge amounts of growth over the next 12 months. So as ever, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the pinned comment down below to join our private community. So first and foremost, we're starting off here with Bitcoin. So the trend I want to highlight here is the general market and the way that it's been very volatile. So no one really knows in 2022 what exactly will happen, but a lot of people hypothesize that we will have some form of ending to the bull run, either a blow off top or a kind of rounded top like we saw back in May, that kind of thing. But definitely some form of drawdown is expected during this next year. So it's something you want to plan for, to have cash on hand for any major dips that occur. And as we've seen over the last few months, Bitcoin has been super volatile, and with it, the rest of the crypto market. So having stables on hand and being prepared for more volatility makes a lot of sense. We've got economic unrest, civil unrest, social unrest, potential for wars to even break out. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. So do be aware of all these macro factors going on. And with this, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is showing extreme strength in the volatility. Now, the Ethereum merge will take place during Q2 to Q3. So we're looking at the back end or mid of summer next year, for me in the Northern Hemisphere here. And so this means Ethereum will move from a proof of work to a proof of stake consensus method. And with it, the incentives for individuals will become just to hodl their ETH. Holding ETH lets you accrue even more ETH. So a fundamental change to the token economic structure here. So this is something that could mark a potential top. This has been spoken about by Raoul Pal in 2021, that merge and the unlocking of the ETH staked in ETH 2.0 contracts could see a kind of sell the news event. So these are the kind of big plays, Bitcoin and ETH in the market, dictating exactly where the rest of us and our altcoin bags end up. Now, the second trend here is going to be stablecoins and the battle for stablecoin supremacy. And within this, you can talk about Gary Gensler and the SEC, with regulations coming potentially for USDT and USDC up here, the dollar-backed stables. And the fact that these have dollars backing them up supposedly means that the SEC believes they should come under their control. So both of these make up a critical part of the crypto industry. As the year has gone on, we've seen the market cap for all stablecoins go up a heck of a lot. People are using these as a flight to safety during volatile times, and then that makes them able to enter back into the market pretty quickly when they think things are ticking up again. So this is another reason for the volatility. But not to digress too much, those stablecoins that are not backed by US dollars, the algorithmic ones, and the ones that aren't controlled by teams based in the US are the ones that we've seen have a higher amount of growth. If you just go to the 30-day chart here, you can see the growth rates. Terra UST, 33% increase, 45% for Magic Internet Money, 40% for Frax down here as well. So the market is showing us that decentralized algorithmic stablecoins are what we want, as these can remain out of the clutches of the SEC and the regulators. So my big play within this industry, of course, is Luna. If you've been watching the channel for any time, you would have seen that, as we have for the first time the ability to bet on the success of an algorithmic stablecoin, UST, and have the value capture in the Luna token. But this is clearly a trending narrative that will continue deep into 2022 and beyond, as we see a resolution to many of the issues in the space relating to stables. Now, next up here, we have the trend of play to earn gaming. And this is one that I actually found on the World Economic Forum. So once it gets into the view of people in this kind of position here, you know that we're about to go mainstream. So this has perked up the ears of WEF, and they talk about, within this article, the rise of digital economies. And we know that with hyperinflation, a lot of economies in the world, mainly South America, Southeast Asia, for example, these kind of places, Philippines, Argentina, Venezuela, they have many individuals in those countries actually playing play to earn games for a living. because even if they can make $5 a day in their home country, that is a lot of currency and can potentially put a lot of food on the table and pay their bills in economies that have been ravaged by inflation. So this is a trend that will continue to grow more and more and more. In 2021, we had the Axie Infinity moment, that kind of decoupling from the rest of the market. While everything was bearish, the Axie chart just started to fly up. And with this has brought about a load of interest from some new and some already established players in the gaming space. And in 2022, we expect AAA quality titles to be released. Star Atlas, Illuvium, Moonray as examples. And I think we will see the first 0 to 1 moment during 2022 where we actually attract a mainstream audience into one of these huge games. And with that, we can bring in hundreds of millions potentially of new users into the crypto space. So this could be the real watershed moment for cryptocurrency at large by having that one breakthrough game. And that is a prediction I make in 2022, that we will have that first major breakthrough act. In terms of investing in this space, you could of course invest in individual games, but I think gaming guilds may be the best risk to reward play in this industry. Now, not to trigger anyone, but of course, Metaverse and the Facebook rebrand to Meta was another 0 to 1 moment. Since that Zuckerberg recording here, I think it was up towards the end of October, we saw all Metaverse plays go absolutely nuts. And so what we're seeing here is in real time the development of a brand new sector of society. People with their digital identities becoming more important. Again, we're moving in towards more lockdowns. In the Western world in particular, people are going to be driven to spend more and more time online, and it makes perfect sense that Metaverse and its time to shine will be in 2022. Hopefully not by this guy here controlling your mind in the metaverse. And I'm pretty confident we will have good enough alternatives from blockchain-based companies to actually compete with Meta here. But we do all need to actually push forward the narrative for Web3 to be the place that you utilize the metaverse. We don't want these Web2 companies masquerading as being for the people, coming in and taking control of Metaverse. They've already tried to take the bloody name. But the fact Facebook rebranded to Meta shows you how big of a cultural phenomenon this is. So investments in Metaverse make total sense. Now, tying all of these things together, Metaverse, play to earn games, we have NFTs as well. And we have the growing virtual reality and augmented reality potential here, as you can see with the headset on this ape here. What I'm actually looking forward to seeing is more of real life experiences being developed into the metaverse. As an example, if we are to be socially distanced by command from governments and other authorities, but we still want to do the things we do socially, but maybe without a personal touch, then why can we not utilize the metaverse to start streaming our favorite sport events through VR headsets, or even if it is just through basically the computer as a starter? Why can we not utilize these things to start viewing what we like to do? So it would not surprise me to see the likes of maybe a subscription model where you can view your favorite sports team like a season ticket, but in a metaverse environment. And with this, you'll see the rise of the kind of social tokens behind sports teams, fan bases, etc. One thing I've noticed recently here in the UK, Manchester City, a football club, have created their own stadium metaverse to enhance experiences for their fans. So this has got the cogs turning for me, and you can pretty much see where this is all going to end up. These things that we're talking about here are going to happen at some point. So I don't see why 2022 will not be the year with the advancements that we've made during 2021. We're just building on top of the infrastructure already laid out. Now, in terms of those NFTs, I think the blue chip NFTs will continue to grow in value. Limited collection profile pics, for example, as the world gets drawn into this area, and there's a lot of rich people out there, they're going to want the most iconic, the most sought after, desirable NFTs. So I think we'll see some parabolic growth in the NFT sector. And of course, you can utilize your NFT in play to earn games, in metaverses, etc. Now, in terms of a new trend, and one that has not kicked off yet, is going to be the music NFT sector. So within this, we have the ability to actually help bring up new talent in the music industry, an industry that has for the longest time been corrupted by the agents and the labels taking huge percentage cuts of the artist's work. And even sometimes you hear of these bad stories in years gone by where certain acts didn't have rights to their own music and the labels actually took full control. So IP in this industry for the actual producers of the music, for the creators, is something that needs to be radically defined and changed here by NFTs. So if you're sick of listening to the same damn songs on the radio all the time and you're wondering why are they just churning out these same pop stars with a similar kind of tracks, just doing covers all the time, well, this is one way that we can stop that from happening and really help bring through the next batch of talent. So this is an area of the market that certainly has caught my attention so far and has not yet fully developed. So there's going to be big moves to be made in this industry. Companies like Sound.xyz and others could potentially have that breakthrough moment. And with that, allow for fans to actually interact on a more personal level with their favorite artists, even own a percentage share, for example, of a song and accrue value from royalties. There's just so many things that can be done with these NFTs. So music NFTs, something I've firmly got my eyes set upon. Then next up we have scaling solution and ZK rollups, a narrative that Elio has talked about ad nauseum. And we've seen that Polygon has really made major moves here. They've been investing in things all over, spent tons of money, have now got a Uniswap integration on the Polygon network. And you can see that ETH scalability and layer 2 solutions are a way that we can bring the masses in. Ethereum L1 is now too expensive, and it's highly likely that these L2 solutions are the way that we go. So anything within this industry has the potential to really grow exponentially. Polygon is a front runner here. We've also got the likes of Hermes Network, Starkware, ZK Sync, and a few others that you can currently just play around with, maybe stick some Ethereum onto a wallet and migrate to these layer 2 solutions and potentially get airdrops, as not many of them have tokens as of yet. But in order for this industry to keep going forward, to onboard masses of new users, we need to have scaling solutions. So it makes sense that investing in picks and shovels plays here will garner great results. So this is a key part of the industry that must develop if we're going to see millions of players through play to earn, etc. Now, next up, I wanted to talk about decentralized finance. And I've just pulled the spell chart up here, as this is one of the tokens that falls under the DeFi sector that I'm most interested in, which is revenue generating DeFi protocols. Spell, ICE, Curve, those kind of protocols that have genuine revenue streams and that token holders can participate with and earn a yield from. So typically, if you buy a token, you just hope for a number to go up, and then you need to sell it to actually gain profit, at which time you'll pay capital gains. But for some of these new DeFi protocols that are generating genuine revenue sources, you can get a revenue stream from that yourself and be paid from this industry's growth. So I think that in 2022, when the numbers really start to shine through, people are going to be jumping on board of many of these, as this is a way to actually achieve financial freedom and gain passive income. And building on top of these, we've seen the DAO quickly and firmly position itself as an area of interest. So this has been a breakthrough moment in 2021. Olympus, Ohm, Time, Wonderland, Climate DAO, Constitution DAO, Pleaser DAO, all of these different DAOs have shown us one thing, that when you get a group, a community, and you can organize them around a pot of money, crazy things are possible. So within these various DAOs, they've started to do certain things that have been very different. Protocol-owned liquidity, scooping up tons of treasury assets, and generating huge APYs for investors. So I think this has been misunderstood by many investors, specifically with Time. We saw tons of liquidations. People were buying in, getting a token, staking it, but not really understanding the purpose behind it. So I think in 2022, there'll be more clarity and a better understanding of what these DAOs can do going forward. We saw the Wu-Tang album bought by Pleaser DAO. We saw Constitution DAO almost buy an original copy of the US Constitution, but they were outbid. And this was just one of those huge breakthrough moments in general. But instead of maybe investing directly into these DAOs, which, as we've seen, can have huge drawdowns when there's a downturn in the market, well, maybe you can do the big brain play here and see exactly what these guys are investing in. They're all buying up assets of other protocols. So this is Redacted Cartel. This is run by Tetranode, I believe. And they've already deployed this CRV strategy. So that's the Curve token. They've bought $25 million worth of Curve utilizing their treasury assets. And their treasury is now yielding 35 grand per day. So we can see that they're after Curve and Convex tokens. So potentially it makes sense if many DAOs are going to come online and have similar intentions, that these tokens, Convex and Curve, are going to be absolutely sucked from the open market, making those highly disinflationary, as most of these treasuries are just locking these away. They typically don't want to be buying these assets to sell them. They want to accrue them for this passive yield. So trying to figure out what the popular DAOs, the ones that are gaining momentum, are actually getting into makes a lot of sense as a playbook. Then the final area of the market to continue to monitor is going to be the layer 1 protocol wars. We've seen Ethereum continue to lose market share during this 2021 year, and I think that will continue in 2022. There's a lot of upcoming chains, all of which have various different aspects that make them better for certain sectors of the market. Some lend themselves to gaming, some lend themselves more to DeFi, and so on and so forth. So what we've seen is huge TVL growth for the likes of Terra this year, AVAX, Solana, Polygon, and the list really goes on, and Ethereum losing a bit of market share. So these layer 1 protocols I see as the area in the market which big institutional investors will want to come and lay some claim and have a bit of a land grab. They want to own a proportion of these protocols that could power the future of finance, the future of gaming, and even more. So it makes a lot of sense to have certain bags in these positions. And if you have the ability to actually diversify your portfolio through some passive income methods, well, maybe you can do what the institutions do and start slurping these coins up. Maybe think of it as your own DAO and you're trying to increase your treasury pot. And another thing to be thoughtful of in this market sector of layer 1 protocols is there's always a new up and coming one. And we've seen this playbook occur many times during 2021. It started with Binance Smart Chain, and the BNB token had parabolic growth, and this showed that there was appetite for other layer 1 protocols. We then saw Solana go on an absolute mission, Avalanche likewise, more recently Luna, and there will be more. Near protocol right now is popping off. But this means we've already seen the playbook, and going into 2022, when you can see these emerging blockchains with big backers, with huge incentives behind them, well, there's some easy money to be made there, in my opinion. So that's my rundown of trends and narratives for 2022. I expect this to be a very volatile year with what's going on worldwide, but still I think crypto will be able to prevail in the long run, even if we do have some depreciative times ahead. I think a bumpy road is going to be par for the course. But taking a longer term time horizon and investing in these most disruptive areas of the market will yield great results over the long run. So I hope this was insightful, helpful in some way. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.